getting stranded on the side of the road like so many people have. It caved in and dropped to the bottom.
And dropped the pan right on the glass. In this episode, we're going to share with you the fails that we've experienced over the last 5 years RVing in this Tiffin Allegro bus, and there have been a lot.
Yeah, the truth is everybody has fails and every rig has fails, and we came into this lifestyle expecting them.
We hope that by sharing these fails, you will realize that you're not alone when you fail on your RV journey.
So we have divided these fails into 3 categories.
First, manufacture or design fails. Number 2, personal fails where we just messed up.
Uh-oh.
And number 3, what is number 3?
Number 3 are the accidents that people are going to have.
Oh yeah, luck of the draw.
Luck of the draw fails.
They could happen to anyone, but they did happen to us.
Yeah, so let's get started. One of the major fails that we've had are these Schwintek slides. Actually, what you're looking at now are vroom slides because we learned our lesson and went to the source. However, our Schwintek slides failed multiple times. And they failed when they seemed to put us in places that were really difficult to get out of, like campgrounds when we had to leave. So these were replaced once in Red Bay and another time in California. Finally, we just got rid of them all.
One of my pet peeves, and I hate it, is carpet in the kitchen. Who does that? You're preparing food, they get stained, there's nothing you can do about it. I hurt my back because I'm trying to reach in the kitchen without getting my shoes on the carpet. Terrible. One of these days we are going to rip it out and replace it with something else. I have no idea how or what, but it's gonna happen.
Here's a fail. We've had the seal on this window replaced a couple of times. Finally, I learned to do it myself. It leaks when there's a good storm, and we've been in some whoppers. It kind of pours water down onto this ledge and down here. Now it seems to be working really good because I found a product that we really like, but that was a major fail.
This fail is a little bit of a story, and we'll get to part 2 of it when we get down to luck of the draw fails. But we were in Red Bay getting things fixed, and lo and behold, in Red Bay, Alabama, there was a storm warning, a tornado warning. I'm not sure, it was severe weather.
It was a tornado.
So we brought our slides in. We were just there for warranty work. We brought our slides in, but it was very hot and we were thirsty, so we went to the fridge to get water, and we never really used, I'm guessing, we never used the water in the fridge when the slides were in before, and it wasn't working. We couldn't figure it out. Well, we just happened to be in Red Bay, and the technician came and looked at the situation and said, oh goodness, there's a kinked water line. Now they did fix the kinked water line. It was under the slide, so it was kinking, right?
Yeah, and that led to part 2.
We'll get to part 2 of what
The Ballad of Red Bay.
Of what fixing that kinked water line really meant in the end. It was something became a major, major fail.
This fail is a fun one. This Kenwood head unit runs our Garmin GPS, it used to, and our stereo system. We've got an awesome stereo system. But as we were going down the road, it completely fell into the dash, F-E-L-L. It caved in and dropped to the bottom. Not cool. So we had to rebuild it. And what I did was, as you can see, I put a bunch of wood in there and some metal bracings, and it had to be completely redone. Now we have a different unit. Now we use this Garmin 10-inch, which is much better going down the road.
This is the passenger seat, and usually, of course, the seat is turned around. But this cupboard, for some reason, only was held on by the one little screw down here, and I don't know what up there. But it was just rattle, 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 rattle. It was driving me bonkers. And the roads are terrible. They're not pretty, but Wayne did have to add these screws to secure. So that's just a design flaw. I'm not sure what they were thinking. Definite fail.
One of the notorious fails, if you will, that Tiffin did was their wiring. This used to be a rat's nest in here. Now it's only essential wiring. Another thing that they did was they started out our entire audio-visual system running from this DVD player. It was a mess. We've since added a home receiver, and this is an amplifier for our subwoofer, and it sounds great, but this has all been cleaned up.
Unfortunately, all 3 LG TVs failed and needed to be replaced in the last 5 years. Living room TV, bedroom TV, and our outside TV. As you can see, we haven't replaced it yet. We are considering turning it into outside storage.
Yeah, storage for my tools, easy access.
The problem with disposing of TVs is, what do you do? How do you dispose of TVs? That was a problem.
Obviously, the toilet is a big thing for any RV. This toilet was a fail. This is a Dometic residential toilet. We like it. Interestingly enough, this is the second one. The first one was replaced. The ball that keeps the water in the tank needs to be sealed tightly all of the time. It just never worked. We've replaced the entire rubber seal. We've replaced the toilet. Finally, we have learned to use white lithium grease, and that gets applied about every 2 weeks now.
Glass bathroom sinks. We love them and they're beautiful and we haven't had a problem, but if you go just a little bit of research on Facebook, they are constantly shattering. So we do hold our breath about these glass bathroom sinks shattering. Our shower leaks, and unfortunately we have tried everything. I have caulked everywhere trying to find the leak and try to seal it up, but to no avail. So now we just gave up. We use a rag, we shove it in where it leaks every time we take a shower, and that's the solution for this fail.
Here's a major fail. You remember those Schwintek slides that we told you about a few minutes ago? Well, every time it brought in this bedroom slide, it twisted this bed box into oblivion. It was terrible. So it crumbled so badly it just fell apart. Well, I had to rebuild the entire bed box.
3 annoying electrical issues. Our rig is run on a spider system. And in the bedroom, something happened, the splitter failed. When we called the manufacturer, they said, how, that's not possible, but it was. They sent us a new one. Wayne we took everything out of the bed, had to rebuild that for an annoying electrical issue. 1. The motor on our convection microwave died. The motor for our fans, both of them, died. And we had to replace one of these panels by the bed.
We love our sliding dual pane windows. They have maximum airflow and we love that, but they have to seal and lock, and the mechanism inside here broke. Not just on this window, but on every single one of the windows, and they've all been rebuilt.
We opted for the Splendid combo washer dryer. Now I know most people hate it. They want a stackable, but I wanted the storage. So for the most part, we really do love the combo. The problem is the design. It is a lint trap free design, so you're not supposed to have to clean the lint. The problem is it's supposed to go out the back with the water or the air, but it's U-shaped. It gets stuck in there. So if there's too much lint, it builds up heat, it will stop working. So you got to pull this thing out, which is no easy feat, and clean any kind of lint in that U-shaped pipe. What a pain in the rear. This is not really a fail, but it irks me just the same. You would think that RV manufacturers would take all the dead space and create storage. But we had this dead space and no storage. We put hinges on and Wayne built the nice cabinets, and we have handles, easy access, and up here as well. Thank you, Wayne.
Here was a major fail. This thing right here, this is called the three-way ball valve, and it allows to take water in from the service on the side of your rig and switch it between your freshwater tank fill and just running your regular city water inside the coach. And you do it by moving this valve. It broke early on and we could not get water into the rig, so I had to replace this with a nice brass valve. But in order to do that, this entire panel and all of the water service and the electrical service that's behind it had to come out, and in so doing I broke this sea level tank monitor's motherboard right here and had to replace that. That cost several $100s to do that.
This is an embarrassing personal fail. I was using the convection microwave. It was hot. I mishandled something, kind of slipped and dropped the pan right on the glass induction cooktop, cracked it. We had to replace it. Bummer. We were driving down the road, minding our own business. Lo and behold, a railroad crossing bar comes down right on our windshield, shatters the windshield. The fail is we did not have a dash cam at the time. We should have bought one sooner. Had we had it at the time of the railroad crossing incident, we could have proven that they didn't give enough time before the bells started ringing, before the bars came down. So it was our word against theirs and we lost. Had to pay for the windshield.
Here's a personal fail. These axles leaked quite a bit in the early days, and I didn't really understand what that meant. They leaked oil, and what was happening was that there's an axle seal in here that prevents the oil from coming out, and it went bad. I didn't recognize it soon enough, and we actually had to deal with it way up in the Sierras, in Yosemite of all places. And so since then I've learned you've got to remove the axle. No easy task getting it back in. The removal's easy, but getting it back in is awful. My first time I did it, I used paper seals, which came stock. I didn't find they worked that well, so I did it again with liquid seals, and that seems to be working much better now. Oh, and talking about stupid fails, you've got to take off this hubcap, which is held on by this nut here, which is very specialized, and it has its own wrench. I threw the wrench away, so now I just kind of have to do it by hand. Okay, I'll admit it, a personal fail. I can't be alone in this. Maybe I am. Didn't wait for confirmation from my partner when backing up, and so ran over a rock going backwards and tore off this panel. But it was pretty good with fiberglass repair, and it's been repaired. It broke it here and here and up here. I replaced these reflectors, but all in all it came out pretty well. Here's a crazy fail, Valerie.
I will never forget this one.
This rig needs to be filled up at truck stops. Obviously there is a diesel fill, F-I-L-L, here and one on the other side.
Here's the other diesel fill.
Sometimes pressure builds up, so on the other side I go and unscrew that side and leave it open. Well, what happened?
That other tank fill is lower. So when he was filling up and I was just inside taking care of stuff, he was outside filling. All of a sudden I hear a geyser and I didn't know what it was. I looked out the window on the other side and it was diesel spraying everywhere. It's like, Wayne!
Come on, that must have happened to you as well.
Quite a fail. My responsibility is to do a visual walk around before Wayne starts driving, just to make sure everything is okay. Well, in the early days, I was forgetting to look up. I looked under the rig, make sure all the jacks were up. But one time, accidentally, I left that door awning up and didn't realize it until about a half an hour driving. I was hearing flapping, fluttering. I didn't know what it was. It was the awning.
Here is a personal fail that we should have taken care of much sooner than we did, and that is getting this coach four-corner weighed.
And what's that?
Four-corner weighed is a special weighing system. It's a device where you can bring your coach up onto the device, and it weighs each axle and each wheel side of the coach. And the reason you do it is because...
Tire pressure.
Tire pressure, the correct tire pressure. So we just simply guessed before. Wow, were we way off?
We were way off. It was very embarrassing how far off we were.
Yeah, so now we're doing the right thing.
Before we move on to the luck of the draw fails, we wanted to ask you, do you have any RV fails that you want to share? Do you dare to leave them in the comments? So this is part 2 of the story of when we got our kinked water line repaired at Red Bay.
While we were there in Red Bay, they were repairing it, and a tech accidentally nicked our hydraulic line. It's a long story. I won't tell you how it happened, but he nicked the hydraulic line.
It was an accident.
It was an accident that was responsible for bringing this slide in and out. Obviously, it was a small thing, so we left here thinking it was fixed, and we got to Yellowstone. Everything was fine. We stayed there 7 days, and when we went to leave, what happened, Valerie?
Well, the nick, nobody knew there was the nick. The kink got fixed. The nick was an accident that nobody really knew about. And so when we brought the slide in, I was inside bringing it, and part of the slide came in and part of the slide didn't. And we just got a major tear. Those hydraulics are very strong. Everything was messed up. We got a major tear in the fiberglass in the slide. It was not pretty. It was not good.
Yeah, so fallout, I can't list it all here because it was dramatic. It automatically dumped all of the hydraulic fluid in the coach into the bays. That was a mess. And it tore the outside skin of the coach in several places. We could literally talk to each other standing right here on the outside.
And we were in Yellowstone and stuck with this slide, cattywampus. We needed to beeline it back to Red Bay to get this fixed, and we could not get this slide in. So what did we got a RV tech?
Took 6 guys and 2 hydraulic rams
to get it back in.
To get it back in.
So we could limp back to Red Bay. That was our catastrophic fail.
Yep.
I call this a luck of the draw type of fail because it does happen to everyone, really. Going down these roads, it's like an earthquake, of course, inside the rig. So all types of trim pieces over the years have become flimsy and need to be reattached. And that is all over the rig. So this is the worst one, and Wayne has put it back, and we will figure out a way to get it back and secured permanently.
Okay, if you watched one of our latest videos, you saw that this windshield wiper in particular, while we were going down the road in a storm, flew off mid-drive, and we couldn't use it because if it kept on going, it would make a big giant scratch in the windshield. So luckily we were able to get to the side of the road and get it repaired. Could have happened to anybody. A common fail on these Cummins engines was the def head sensor. It did fail, but we prepared because we knew about it beforehand, and that was by buying a def head sensor simulator. This thing has prevented us from getting stranded on the side of the road like so many people have. This is what it looks like. Those are our fails in this rig.
I'm sure there's a lot more, but we couldn't remember them all.
Yeah, we probably don't want to remember them all.
No.
These are the ones that just came to mind.
And we want you to know that we are not upset in any way. We do love RV Life. We love our Tiffin bus. We love Tiffin in general.
RV Life. Things happen.
Yes, they do.
And you must be flexible.
Yeah, I think the important thing is flexibility and having a good attitude. So when these things come, you can calmly assess the situation and deal with them.
Even our catastrophic Swintech slide problem?
Yes, even that. We were upset on that day.
Yeah, you got to roll with the punches, in other words.
Yes.
So we wanted to share these fails with you to help you realize that RV life is full of the unexpected.
Yes, it is. But worth it. We feel it's worth it. Not for everybody, but for those that can deal with that, all of that, the rewards are remarkable. So that wraps it up. We so appreciate you watching. We will catch you next time.
Bye-bye.